cicadas, tree frogs, and a boisterous Bob White. Overhead, the few stars of the evening poked their heads through an ebony blanket. He wiped his hands off on his jeans and checked his watch, 6:15 p.m. He would need a miracle to make it to Linda's on time. He turned around and looked both ways down the road, hoping for the welcome sight of an approaching car. The road was empty. "Just my luck," he said aloud, the ache of despair gnawing his stomach like a hungry rat. Visions of Linda Chapman's firm little body pressed tightly against him began to fade as reality set in. Shoving his hands deep into his jeans pockets, he started walking. "Why me, God? Why is it always me?" But he had taken only a few steps when he heard sounds of movement coming from the woods, near where his bike was hidden. The noise startled him. He stopped and turned around, but didn't see anything. "It's just a rabbit, you dumb shit. No reason to get upset. Just a rabbit crushing through the underbrush. The woods are full of them." But it sounded too big to be a rabbit. "Okay, then, it's a dog. Probably some farmer's mutt out chasing rabbits." Bending over, he gathered up a handful of rocks from the road's edge, just in case the dog had a bad attitude. The sounds grew nearer, causing his imagination to conjure up visions of vicious bulldogs and slobbering Dobermans. But he decided to avoid any possible confrontation between himself and the dog, or dogs. Tossing the rocks in the direction of the noise, he turned and started jogging down the road, heading toward town. He had gone no more than a half a mile when, rounding a curve in the road, he glanced behind him and spotted something moving near the road's edge. What the hell is that? Buddy came to an abrupt stop, watching as something big and dark crossed the road behind him. He caught only a glimpse, just a blurred shape, before it disappeared in the darkness cloaking the ditch on the left side of the road. Cocking his head to the side, Buddy listened carefully. Above the singing of the cicadas and frogs, he could hear the sounds of leaves cracking and sticks snapping. The sounds grew louder, closer. Whatever was in the ditch, it was coming his way. Jogging now was out of the question. The thing that followed him was big, a lot bigger than any bunny rabbit, bigger than a dog. His heart started to jackhammer with fear. He took off running. The road curved to the left, then back to the right, straightening out as it reached the iron bridge that spanned Lost Creek. Halfway across the bridge, he stopped to look behind him. What he saw caused his legs to weaken. He was still being followed, the mystery animal less than half a mile away. No longer content with moving amongst the underbrush, it ambled down the middle of Cemetery Road. The animal did not move with the hurried run, stop, sniff, run again movements of a dog. Instead, it walked straight down the center of the road, never looking around, confident in its surroundings. Unchallenged. The movement of a predator. A bear! Buddy sucked in air. There weren't supposed to be any bears in central Missouri, especially not in this part of the state. The last time anyone had even seen a bear in Hobbs County was almost 50 years ago. But it had to be a bear. It was too damn big to be a dog. As he stood on the bridge watching, the bear must have looked up, for all at once a pair of large, slanted eyes shone in the darkness. They didn't just reflect light, they seemed to glow, as though each was an amber lens behind which burned a brilliant flame. As far apart as the eyes were, the head must have been enormous, and an enormous head could only be attached to an even bigger body. But he had seen enough. More than enough, actually, more than he wanted to see. He turned again and fled. 4 miles to town. I'll never make it. How close is the nearest house? 2 miles? A mile and a half? Maybe I can climb a tree. Wait it out until someone comes along. Can bears climb trees? He rounded another curve in the road at a dead run, his side hitching with pain. Off to the right was the old Catholic cemetery, its weedy ground and ancient markers guarded by a crumbling wall of stone and a black iron gate. The gate stood open, as it always did, bent on its frame. The cemetery, I can hide in there. He sprinted into the cemetery and raced up the graveled drive, past the Johnson family crypt with its matching pair of winged angels, past the burial plots belonging to the Kellings, the Smiths, and the Brandymeyers. He reached the center of the cemetery, pausing to catch